right, let's start on the left with our junior journalist, Kira.
Hi, I'm Kira. My question, by the way, I listened to you saying you have a great voice.
Oh, thank you.
My question was, how did you get into golf, and what motivated you to go and practice as a kid and then through all these years?
I was motivated through Jack Nicklaus. I started when I was 4. I wasn't allowed to play on our little 9-hole golf course in Darnell, Arkansas. They would let me wade in the ponds. I got to sell them the good balls. I had to keep the bad ones. They wouldn't take the bad ones. And then we lived on a baseball field, so I learned how to play kind of on a baseball field. Hit cuts to the right, straight shots over center field, hooks down the left third base line, and flops to the pitcher's mound, pitch and runs to first, second, third. That's kind of how I learned how to play. And then when I was 6 years old, I got to start playing on the course a little bit. And I learned through the Jack Nicklaus lesson tee, the cartoon back, I think it was 70 or 70, 69, 70, 1970 when it came out, and learned the grip that way and everything in cartoons. So that's kind of how it all started for me.
Okay, over here on the right, TJ, please.
John, can you just tell us a little bit about how this course sets up for you and a little bit more about the driver? I know you got a new driver in the bag this year. You said you've been hitting it much straighter.
Yeah, the course is unbelievable. It's beautiful. It's plays longer than what the yardage shows. I think maybe because of the weather a little bit, but the fairways are beautiful. They're just tight. It's hard to get the ball in the air when you're longer irons. So I put a 2 and a 3 iron hybrid in the bag. We haven't played on bent this year yet. We've played I think 6 or 7 events have all been on Bermuda. So anytime you get up the north, northeast, even the kind of northern Midwest and stuff, you go to Poa and bent, and it changes. Everything changes. The greens are a little softer, and they're going from Bermuda to bent, there's not much grain. So I struggled yesterday just getting the ball in the air. That's because we just haven't played on tight fairways like this in a while. So, but the golf course is beautiful. It's got some pretty good tough par threes. The par fives, if I drive it really well, I can get home to most of them. But I think here it's just keeping it in the fairway. The rough's up. It's a little damp, which makes it tougher to hit out of. But it's a great golf course. Unbelievable golf course. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, straight back. Right there.
John, when did you start thinking about playing the Champions Tour, and given what's gone on with your game and on and off the course the last few years, did you think you would get to this point where you would be playing Champions Tour and playing at this level?
Well, I knew I was going to have at least 2 years through my my points and my career money. I think more of the points. I was looking forward to it probably a year out, because I wasn't playing very good. I was getting a few spots in some tournaments, but it's great to go home and practice, but if you're not playing tournaments, it makes it tough to compete anywhere. And I don't think I played. I think I played Puerto Rico last year. That was pretty much the only tournament I really played going into the Champions Tour. So I had all the way through April 28th was my birthday, so my first tournament was Houston, of course, last year. So I really didn't play a lot of golf for quite a while, and it made it tough to compete. I know one thing: these guys 100 yards in are just as good as anybody in the world, and I've seen it over and over and over again. I mean Bernhard, the way he putts is phenomenal. I don't know how a guy can make 3, 4, 35-footers every round and do what he's doing, but he does it, and it's something that we all want to do. But I was looking forward to the Champions Tour probably a little longer than most of the guys. Most of the guys like Jerry Kelly came out; he still has his card, so he could play both tours. Steve Stricker can play both tours. So when you're not playing competitive golf going into something, as this, it makes it tough. And I think that's probably why I didn't get the hang of it for a while. I played too conservative last year. I went out and played Houston. I got a little more aggressive on a couple of the holes that I normally would probably hit 2 iron off of. But out here, you got to be aggressive, and you've just got to go low. It's just, if you don't, you shoot over par or 1 or 2 under a round, you're pretty much out.
Let's go back right there, and then we'll come to Christine next.
John, winning can do a couple of things for players. Has it taken the pressure off, or has it given you the determination to enjoy that winning feeling once more?
Well, I think it's like anybody else that wins. You know, for me, my droughts are longer than everybody else's, it seems like. But, you know, I love the way I'm driving the ball. To answer your question, the vertical groove driver is really, if you haven't hit it, you need to try and hit it. Against the wind, there's just no spin. It just keeps going. And I feel like it's just a driver that I can control and hit straighter than anything I've hit since probably the 540 back when I won with TaylorMade at Torrey Pines. I just feel like I'm going to hit it straight every time or hit my nice cut with it every time. And when you're hitting fairways, it's a lot easier to score. You got better chances to get it close to the hole, shorter clubs going in. And so that's that part of it. I just feel like, you know, that's going to help me. If I'm driving the ball good with my length, I feel like I can score pretty good. So that's pretty much it.
John, given where you are right now in your life and with the game and everything like that, do you look back at all with any kind of regrets in terms of the years that you didn't win and the droughts that may have been self-inflicted as opposed to, you know, just, you know, not playing well, and because of your talent? Do you feel like you left a lot of wins out there that you could have had?
No, I mean, I've talked to Lanny Watkins about this. I could go out and hit 18 greens and shoot even par. I was never the best putter out here. 1 year, 04, I think I led the stat in putting. But other than that, I was always at best maybe 70th. And I've never been a great putter. I've been a good ball striker a long time, but if you're not a great putter, you're not going to win a lot. And I can classify myself as not a great putter. I know the way I hit the ball, if I putt average or just a little above average, I'm going to have a great round. But if I, don't putt, at least that, it's not going to be a good round. And I don't have any regrets in that. I mean, that's just the way it is. I'm one of those streaky field putters, and I don't know why. I've never put mechanics in my putting. Every time I've tried, I've tried different grips, I've tried different lengths, I've tried different putters, but I always seem to go back to the same way I putted. It's the only way I know how, and I can't dwell on the past that I haven't won a lot, but anytime I didn't play good was mainly because I didn't putt very good.
Let's go to Kira first, please, then to Gene.
Did you have a mentor in golf, and how did you develop your relationship?
I kind of had a few. Jack Nicklaus was the reason I started, but when I got to meet guys like Watson and Fuzzy Zeller and Crenshaw and Stadler and Palmer, I just kind of took it all in. I love how fast Fuzzy and Trevino played. The problem I didn't get is the mentality of it. Like Watson and Nicklaus, they were so strong mentally. That was just out the door for me. I don't know why. Mentally, I'm not the toughest guy on the golf course. I think because I lose patience too quick. But and I'm not scared to admit that. There's other guys that do that, but that's just me. If we all were the same, nobody'd be watching the game, But I kind of took them all in, and the greats of the greats. Arnie played quick. Arnie had the charisma. We can't sign all the autographs and do everything and take pictures we would like to, but sometimes we just can't. Arnie's the only guy that I think that could, and so I try and do things besides the golf. Just try and do things like he did and Fuzzy did and stuff like that. So my heroes are all 10 to 12 of them. They're all just such great guys, and it's cool that I got to meet them and be friends with them.
Okay, let's wrap it up here with Gene, please.
Yeah, John, galleries are still drawn to you these days. Fans are still drawn to you. Throughout your career, that's been the case. Why do you think that is? Why do you think fans are been such big followers of you throughout your career?
I think because I don't have any skeletons in my closet. I'm a guy that's always told them when I screw up, admit it, and go on. I don't hide anything. There's just nothing to hide with me. I'm just always been straight up front with you guys, and when I play bad, I don't want to talk to you. That's just as easy as it is. And I've always told everybody that. I'm not one of those guys that's going to lie to anybody about what's going on in my life. And I think it just takes the pressure off of not having anything, looking back or anything. I'm just one of those guys that have always told you guys if I get fined, tour hates it when I tell you I get fined. But I tell you anyway because I screwed up, I did. But I think the fans relate to that. I think, if you hold something in your stomach for so long that if you don't get it out, you're just always worried about it. And it creates more problems. And I can say with this big old belly I got, there's nothing inside there that you don't know probably about me.